Alright, so I know we already presented a couple modules, especially in our first meeting, but this is going to be different because it's going to be slightly interactive. So for this, we maybe like you to get into groups. 4, 5, 6, 4 to 8 groups will do. If you could just sort of...
4 to 8 people in a group? Or?
No, 4 to 8 groups in total. So maybe, I can't really estimate, 3 or 4 people per group.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's see folks.
Okay, chairs.
Do you want to be a pair? Do you want to be a pair?
So hopefully in the classroom, the teacher will aid you in splitting the kids into groups. But in the college, we'll pass them out just in a bit. So this module is called the Swirling Colors module. And, yep.
This is one part. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
So let me just give you a brief introduction. The first thing you need to do when you come to a classroom and present a module is kind of give a brief overview about what the module is about, what the kids will be doing there. You don't really necessarily have to explain the scientific concepts of the module. Well, you don't really necessarily have to explain them at all, depending on the age of your kids. But you don't have to do it at the beginning. You can kind of let them play around and do it at the end. Just tailor your presentation to the group you're working with and sort of the style with which you're doing the presentation. So, Kevin, or Kyle, may I erase this? Yeah. If you're erasing, please, using the board during a presentation makes it more exciting, but please ask the teacher before you erase something important. So, the question we're asking, sort of, the problem we're looking at is every liquid the same? And does addition of certain ingredients into a liquid change the properties of the liquid from its normal state? So using food coloring and mysterious water solution, you'll be kind of investigating this question today. So if my co-group members could help pass out a cup of water per pair. We need 4. Hold on. Yeah, they're like A, B, C, and D.
Each group gets another turn.
I want to be.
Okay. Does every group get A, B, C, D?
Every group gets 1.
Okay.
So if there isn't enough, you can kind of conglomerate together. So,
We get 2?
No, you get 1. Just 1 per group. And put it under the desk.
Okay, Maddie, do you want to go with the
food coloring,
water?
1 per.
You ready?
Okay, what color do you guys want? Blue, cool. What color do you guys want?
Red.
Red. Usually they go crazy for this part.
So when you're passing these things out, the kids might be really loud because they're so excited
Yeah.
about the experiment. So ways to make them listen to you is you can ask the teacher if she has like her own way of like quieting the kids down, like
A special clap or something.
Yeah.
I remember we used to clap
Can you hear
in
me clap
elementary
one?
school.
Yeah, exactly.
or like bum 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 bum, and then the kids will be like bum bum, and everyone's quiet. Something like that. Yeah. So make sure you have a way to make the kids quiet and listen to you.
Yeah, but you don't just want them to listen to you because you're not really there to lecture. So you want to ask them a couple questions and kind of interact with them. So right now, I'm going to ask some of you guys, hopefully, brave volunteers, to... Does anyone have any ideas about what you think will happen when you add the food coloring into the water? I'll tell you right now that what we have in the water is one of 3 things: salt, sugar, or carbon dioxide. You can kind of tell with carbon dioxide. But salt and sugar should be fairly difficult to detect. And some of you have plain water. So,
Tricky.
does anyone have any ideas about what might happen? It will swirl. Alright, so I guess we'll just have to find out. So now I do want a volunteer, if anyone would be so daring. and brave.
I will volunteer.
Yeah, but I mean, you're cabinet. Okay.
Non-cabinet. Non-cabinet.
So coming up.
Do I have to bring these?
You don't have to bring anything. So
Go
I will tell you right
Marshall
now.
too.
Can the camera see this if we're on
Yeah.
the table? Okay. So
Oh, it's being webcast.
it is frightening. So right now we're just gonna sort of, tell you what to expect from plain water, because I mean, if you haven't seen drop fall into the water before, you don't really know, do I have plain water or do I have something else? Except, of course, the bubbly water, which is pretty obvious. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to tell you to drop a drop of water, not yet,
Okay.
into that water, and then you're going to describe to me what's going on, and I'm going to try to sketch that out on this board. So ready?
Yes.
Go. All right. So what's happening?
Well, it looks like the surface turned blue and there's a dark area where it's diffusing slowly that's darker blue, and it looks like it's sinking.
So it's kind of sinking down into the solution.
Yeah, and it kind of settles at the bottom with a darker color. Like,
It's like an upside down jellyfish.
Oh, nice.
I'm a terrible artist. Is that
it's very, very accurate.
accurate? All right. So that's your standard or your control. Just plain water. So now you know what to expect when you get plain water. If you get something different, then you probably don't have plain water. So now, because you should kind of take the opportunity to work with the groups and work with the kids, we're going to go around to each group and kind of interact with you and ask you to add your food coloring to the water.
So we should
Yeah.
wait until you guys kind of
Unless you're really anxious.
And depending on the age of the kids, you may want to add the food coloring yourselves, because it
Oh.
stains clothing a lot, and they tend to go crazy with this stuff.
Fortunately, food coloring washed up.
Yeah, and then make sure you tell them don't drink the water before or after you add the food coloring, because they like to eat every. Yeah.
I also want to remind you guys that it's a good idea to just like ask questions, encourage them to ask questions, and like just go with the flow and like try not to plan things out too much, because I mean it's just fun when you just go with how the kids are acting. But also sometimes there's some kids that'll just raise their hand like all the time and they'll want to talk and like say whatever's on their mind. So like that's good, but try to like encourage other kids to talk to and just be aware of like how other kids are. So yeah, that's it.
All right. So,
Okay, this group. What do you guys think is going to happen?
I'm anxious.
Do you have any hypothesis? Do you know what a hypothesis is? Oh, you guys are smart. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and add this up, and make sure you pay attention to see what happens to the water.
Yeah, looks like plain water.
You guys both look like
are you
it.
sure?
I don't know.
It might have some something in it.
Yeah.
Typically, the salt is